Sir, you're charged with driving while your license is suspended. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On December 2nd, 2024, officers were dispatched to a minor accident on Sam Houston Parkway. Upon arrival, the officer met with both parties of the accident as well as a witness. The witness advised that there were minor disturbances on scene in which a knife was brandished by the defendant, who was parked across the street from the accident. The officer identified the defendant and discovered he had a mandatory suspension on his driver's license for a second DWI. And the defendant advised that he had still been driving for work. He had personal business despite having personal knowledge of the defendant stated he was driving from San Antonio and was only waiting for his coworker who was involved in the accident.
Does he have an open DWI right now?
Does not appear so, Your Honor. It appears that the last DWI he had was in 2019 out of Bexar County. Bear County, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Patlan, I want you to understand one thing. I'm going to find that there's, so wait a second. Someone saw him driving, or did the officer see him driving? Because I didn't.
He admitted that he had been driving for work, and he admitted to having personal knowledge of suspension as well.
Did anyone see him driving?
No, Your Honor. There's only the
Do
state.
we know even when he was driving?
There was an accident. That's what dispatch involved, and then he.
Okay, so, okay, so.
There was an accident, and then officers arrived, and then they made contact with the defendant.
Got it. So all this was in response to an accident that he was allegedly involved in.
Yes.
Got it. All right. So I am going to find probable cause, Mr. Patlan. And no, don't. You have the right to remain silent. Exercise. I've got about a bunch of DAs here. Anything you say, they're going to use it against you. But let me make something abundantly clear to you. I'm going to have you sign with me today an affidavit. This is a promise that you're making to me that you're not going to drive. I don't care what is going on in your life. When we mean no driving, we mean no driving. I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 kids. Do not drive. If you do, I can have a contempt hearing facing up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand? I don't care what your excuse is. You cannot justify at all any reason. If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, and then we can talk. But until that point, I will even do this. This is the number to the DPS driver's license division. If you call them, they can tell you exactly what you need to do to get your license back.
The class is now, sir.
There may be, an SR-22. You may have to do all these other things. What you need to do is call them and they can advise you, but don't drive. Do you understand?
And Your Honor, I do have to make a correction. After reading the full DIMS, the defendant was parked across from the accident. It was his coworker that was involved in the accident. He was parked across, Your Honor. And I do apologize. After reading the complete DIMS, the officer wrote that the defendant was parked across the street from the accident, and he made a statement that he was waiting on his coworker who was in the accident.
No one sees him driving.
He was just parked across the street.
No, no, what? Really?
He made the statement that
I get it.
he was in the vehicle and he made the statement.
I took a shower today. No, I mean, you just make a statement. I mean, no, there's no proof.
To having knowledge of the suspension, and he was in the vehicle parked across the street.
But no one sees him driving?
He did make a statement.
No.